Welcome to NXT. What a way to kick things off. Johnny Gargano. Wait a minute.
There we go.
DIY is a part of his past. Johnny wrestling is his own man now, guys, and it's good to see him back, Nigel.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Cleveland, Ohio, weighing in at 199 pounds, Johnny Gargano.
So a new start for Johnny Gargano, perhaps. Acting like he's put DIY and his former tag team partner behind him.
He ain't acting like it, he's doing it.
We will see, Percy, we will see.
Looks to be back at 100%. Johnny Gargano getting set for one-on-one action against Raul Mendoza.
And his opponent, from Córdoba, Veracruz, Mexico, weighing in at 190 pounds, Raul Mendoza.
Had a chance to see Raul Mendoza in action in the inaugural Cruiserweight Classic, a high-flying luchador from Mexico.
Very, very talented. Can use his feet really well, very quick. But speaking of that, CWC took a loss in the first round to the Brian Kendrick.
Of course, Johnny Gargano was involved in the Cruiserweight Classic as well. Memorable battle with his now former tag team partner, former best friend, Tommaso Ciampa.
And I think we've really got to talk about the elephant in the room, because since being back, Gargano hasn't mentioned Ciampa one time by name.
Why should he?
Because he's got to be in his head.
Right now he has to focus on Raul Mendoza.
The way you get beyond something is you completely let it go. No longer acknowledge it and it doesn't have power over it.
Let's see how he does against Mendoza, because he is no slouch.
Nice counter, arm wringer by Mendoza. Beautiful escape by Johnny Gargano into the drop to hold, float over into the front face lock. Some good stuff here in the early going between Mendoza and Gargano. Gator roll into a 1 count.
That's why they call him Johnny Wrestling.
Check him out.
Beautiful side headlock into the takeover, and yeah, it's more than a moniker. I mean, the basics of grappling counter there by Mendoza. I mean, Johnny Gargano was a student of the game.
For sure, he's got complete control of this match so far early on.
Johnny Gargano, of course, recovering after the brutal attack
Check out
at the hands of his former tag team partner, Tommaso Ciampa, and leapfrog there by Mendoza, reverse leapfrog. And some scintillating action here, beautiful bridge. Rolling crucifix for a 1 count. And hard to keep up with Mendoza and Gargano in this one.
Oh! Right on the butt.
That's some of the innovation of Johnny Gargano.
That's the Johnny Gargano we know.
That's why he is affectionately referred to as Johnny Wrestling. Trying to put his recent past behind him, focusing now on a singles career. Oh, and focusing on the left arm of Mendoza.
I think Gargano there was looking to weaken the shoulder for the Gargano escape.
Bit of a track lead that ends with Mendoza bowling Gargano over with a drop kick. Cover and a 2 count.
Well, what a feather in the cap, and perhaps an upset for Mendoza.
Mendoza,
the comeback.
a stalwart in Mexico, has also competed in Japan. Now trying to make a name for himself here in NXT. Meanwhile, Johnny Gargano, who, how long, you never can recover from someone who, let's face it, your best friend stabbing you in the back like that, Nigel. It takes years if it takes forever.
That's exactly my point. To act like you've moved on and it hasn't got any effect, I don't buy it for a second.
You think, Percy, that he has put it behind him, although Mendoza now springboard Powerful. Torpedo-like spear from the apron.
Look, we've all been through things. We've all had friends turn our backs on us and get stabbed in the back, but you gotta get over it, and I believe Johnny Gargano has done just that.
A slingshot spear driving the air out of the lungs of Raul Mendoza.
It's one thing to have someone turn their back on you, Percy. It's something completely different to have to try to end your career.
I get that.
Reversal on the Irish whip, baseball slide by Gargano, and that lethal left lariat that almost separated Mendoza. I'm sure it separated him from his senses, that's for sure. Wow! What an enziguri on the counter by Raul Mendoza. Don't count him out. You again, Nigel, Percy, you guys have been in the ring. He's wasting precious time here after having the advantage on Gargano. He wants to make an even bigger impact.
Wait.
Oh, there we go. Rolls over.
Ooh, that's it.
Look at the torque.
He's got a tap.
Driving with the hips, yes.
And Mendoza forced a tap to the crossface.
Submission, Johnny Gargano.
This is a huge win for Johnny Gargano. He has to continue to build momentum and rebuild that confidence.
A chicken wing over the shoulder crossface. Johnny wrestling in a spirited confrontation with Raul Mendoza.
Let's take a look at just how he did it. Here off the top. No one was there, but then look at that slingshot spear. So much velocity. And then as the match would continue, Enziguri upside the jaw took down Johnny Wrestling, but just a little bit slow, which gave Gargano the opportunity to hit the Gargano escape there. A neck crank and a shoulder lock at the same time, and a tap from Mendoza.
Johnny Wrestling hearing it from the NXT universe.
He said he's back, but I still don't believe it.
Believe what you want, Knight. We just picked up a huge win right here.
So a great start to this week's action. NXT as Johnny Gargano begins to focus on a singles career. And guys, when it comes to guys who are on a roll, and there's a lot of people who right now are very, very high on Johnny Wrestling.
You talk about being high on somebody. Got to talk about the NXT champion, Bobby Roode. Just 3 weeks away from NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. He will be here tonight.
And when it comes to champions, well, no one in NXT history has a streak like the Empress of Tomorrow. The NXT Women's Champion Asuka will make her triumphant return to Full Sail Arena next.
I knew that I'd let so many people down. But you can come back. You know, you finally got to where you'd always wanted to be. It just got plucked away from you.
That can really be a soul crusher.
It was killing him inside.
Never in my life has 6 months felt like such a long time. Never forget where you came from. Helps reset the soul. It seems like such an unreachable destination. Let me tell you something. Coming back is gonna be pretty badass.
Special thanks to Code Orange for their song Bleeding in the Blur, one of the official theme songs for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. This song can be found on the album Forever and is available on iTunes and Spotify.
And someone who is very much looking forward to TakeOver Brooklyn, the Mercurial Aleister Black. He is in action tonight on NXT. And speaking of actions, what to make of what the formidable faction Sanity did last week before they were confronted by the NXT Tag Team Champions, the Authors of Pain. And it didn't take long for this combustible situation to explode as these four massive human beings collided in the squared circle. It was game on like Donkey Kong, with Killian Dane, Alexander Wolf, and the NXT Tag Team Champions, Razor and Akam, treating each other like a baby treats a diaper in anticipation of what should be another sensational, hard-hitting showdown for the NXT Tag Team titles. Authors of Pain standing tall for the moment. But coming up at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, Authors of Pain will defend the NXT Tag Team titles against Sanity, and Paul Ellering has a message for the NXT Tag Team title challengers.
Sanity. Sanity. They showed their sanity when they attacked the Authors of Pain. TakeOver Brooklyn. We will write the chapter. But between now and then, be prepared. Monsters are real.
Wow, can't wait for the NXT Tag Team titles to be on the line at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your NXT Women's Champion, Asuka!
There she is, the Empress of Tomorrow, the most dominant champion in NXT history.
And NXT champion Asuka will be putting that championship on the line against Ember Moon at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3.
My question is, will there be a tomorrow for Asuka after TakeOver Brooklyn?
At NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, I will fight Ember Moon for the NXT Women's Championship. I've beaten Ember before. I will beat her again! Again! Ember Moon is not ready for Asuka!
Well, wait a second. Ember Moon may take umbrage to that statement.
Looks like she's ready to take more than just umbrage with that statement. She's ready to get physical with the NXT Women's Champion. Ember Moon with her sights set on NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3.
Ever since TakeOver Orlando, I have been doing everything in my power to get back where I belong. Fighting for the NXT Women's Championship. And you can sit here and say that I'm not ready, Asuka. But I know that I'm ready. These people know that I am ready. And you know that I am ready, Asuka. Deep down inside, underneath all of that arrogance, you know the truth. And you are afraid of the truth, Asuka. The truth is that Asuka isn't ready for Ember Moon.
Asuka extending an olive branch, or not.
Look at this.
Sight.
Oh! And Asuka just paintbrushed Ember Moon.
She doesn't look scared.
Bad move.
Oh, wow! Ember Moon all over the NXT Women's Champion Asuka. A prelude of what's to come at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. And Asuka now turning the tables on Moon, showing why she's the most dominant champion in NXT history. Oh, and throwing her through the ropes. Remember, she previously injured Ember Moon. Moon on the top, a glimpse on the NXT Women's Champion.
Okay.
Is Moon going to eclipse Asuka's NXT Women's Championship reign, Nigel?
If that happens during NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, we will see an exchange of the title, that's for sure.
I don't doubt it. The question is, can she hit it at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, or will the Empress of Tomorrow survive with her title?
In the NHL, there's a superstition: you don't touch the trophy until you win. Moon not gonna mess with fate.
I get that. Put your hands on it once you've completely earned it.
I'll get that when I earn it. That's what Ember Moon says. But unfortunately, it's a lot easier said than done.
But she will have an opportunity to earn it. At NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, Ember Moon, more than ready to do battle with the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka.
Well, I've got to be honest, guys, I'm shocked. I've never seen Asuka so dominated as she was there, taking the eclipse. But I've got to be honest, by the time we get to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, I think Asuka will be prepared.
Asuka, the NXT Women's Champion, one of the most dominant champions in NXT history. Want to talk now about the NXT Champion Bobby Roode, who has actually demanded time to address his two main adversaries, Roderick Strong and the man he will defend the NXT title against at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, Bobby, you just gotta make sure you're mic'd up.
Yeah, I know, but I'm in a hurry. Is this your first time, kid? Sorry, let's go. Come on, sir. All right? Can we start this now?
Yeah.
All right, great. Let's go.
So, Bobby, your previous challenger for the NXT Championship, Roderick Strong and his family, both expressed some disappointment, if not disgust, in the way you behaved yourself after that match. What are your comments about that?
Okay, let's use the lottery analogy again, shall we? Okay? People from Roderick's walk of life in trailer parks play the lottery. You know, they try to become instant millionaires overnight. And Roderick Strong tried to play the Bobby Roode lottery. But he didn't have the right numbers. He lost. And as a matter of fact, not only did I beat him, but I proved that I was a better man. And of course, they're going to be disappointed, they're going to be sad, and they're going to be upset, but they're going to want to play that lottery again. But the fact is, Roderick Strong just doesn't belong in my NXT. Anything else?
Well, your next challenger for the NXT Championship, Drew McIntyre, made some comments about you last week. How do you respond to those?
Yeah, I heard him. So Drew was here before, and now he's back, and he says he's a changed man, right? Drew's a new man. Things are different now. Maybe they are. maybe he is a new man, you know? So, I got an idea. You want a scoop? You want some breaking news? Here's some breaking news. Here's a scoop for you. How about next week, the new man, Drew McIntyre, and the NXT champ, Bobby Roode, get in the ring and we have a little sit-down conversation. Sound like fun? All right, you know what? I'm done. I'm getting out of here. Thank you for your time. Get off.
Are you playing that? This is not the way to go about things. What am I supposed to do? Regal, tell me what I'm supposed to do, please. He disrespected my family. What kind of man am I if I don't do something about it?
What you've got to do, whether it's right or wrong, is be a professional. This is not the way to go about things.
I'll do anything you want. Anything. Just give me Bobby Roode.
Roddy, my hands are tied. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. It's Bobby Roode versus Drew McIntyre.
We got Street Profits here. Hey, what up, man?
Look at that.
Look at that. Y'all know there's a rebellion going on, right? A Red Cup rebellion.
Guess what? We gotta stir this.
There we go. We're about to change the game. That's how we roll. We got the swag, baby. Street Profits, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins. He got the red cup. I stir it up. I told y'all we coming, y'all.
Welcome back to Full Sail Live in Orlando, Florida. Tonight, NXT is powered by new Tap Out Men's Body Sprays. Now available in the fragrance aisle at Walmart.
The following contest is a women's division match scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Shimon, New Jersey, Sonya Deville.
Deville, a striking and submission specialist. Nigel, very well versed in many martial arts disciplines.
Absolutely. Let's not make any bones about it, Morrow. Sonya Deville is a badass. No question about it.
Absolutely. With that MMA background, man, she's very dangerous. She's always got a chip on her shoulder. She'll rip somebody's head off at any moment.
There's a style reminiscent in some ways to Holly Holm or perhaps even Chris Cyborg. Very dangerous.
Well, speaking of cyborgs, the bionic beast, Jenna Van Bemel, ready to derail the Sonya Deville hype train.
Deville likes to say it only takes one punch, one kick, or one submission to end a match, and that's why she's so dangerous.
That being said, it's time to put your hair up and square up.
Yeah, Jenna Van Bemel has a distinct size and power advantage, and immediately Sonya Deville playing mind games.
But you see the quickness of Deville, though. Jenna may be big, she may be strong, but she's got to be able to find a way to get her hands on Sonya. And right now, it seems to be a bit of a problem.
Said she'll put her hands behind her back. And
look at this. Sonya with a little Mayweather action. All right.
Yeah. Little Anderson Silva as well, the MMA legend. And, of course, Deville well trained in mixed martial arts, but Van Bemel now comes off the ropes and gets leveled by that clothesline.
I think Deville knows that she's got Bemel's number. Just playing with a taller girl. Oh. That caught her.
Oh! Wow. But that also caught Van Bemel, those Muay Thai knees, clubbing forearm as Sonya Deville beats down the bigger Van Bemel.
You're in my
just see over time, you see the aggression in Sonya Deville grow. She's starting to find her groove.
This match is a clear example of technique versus strength.
And there's some of that strength on display of Bemel to back up. Oh, a lightning fast shot to the midsection by Deville. Reversal on the Irish whip. Back first goes Deville, and there's the avalanche in the corner, courtesy of Jenna Van Bemel.
Jenna's got to stay on Sonya, though.
Oh, and Deville
wait.
Jumps up top, going for the triangle armbar. And there's the tap by Jenna Van Bemel.
Here's your winner, Sonya Deville.
And Deville putting her MMA background to use, Nigel, with that triangle armbar.
Well, just like she said, it only takes one. It only takes one instant. A flying arm triangle caught me off guard. I didn't even know until she had it on.
So well-rounded. She won a last match by submission, and before that beat Laney with a huge knee strike. This is one to watch. Sonya Deville.
Hideo Itami, last week after getting yourself disqualified in your match against Cassius Ohno, you continued the attack on a man you once called a friend. What's prompted this attitude change?
Nobody, includes Cassius Ohno, seems to be giving me respect. I deserve better. So why should I show respect to anyone? もう疲れたよ。俺は俺らしく、もうこれから先、このまま自分らしく。
Hideo, I'm sorry. I was told we need to go back to the ring.
Wait a second. He's not finished.
うるせえうるせえ、俺の時間だ。ちょっと黙って聞けよ。黙って聞けよ。
Hideo Itami has commandeered the microphone and the ring.
Totomate, give me a minute.
There's a match next. You gotta get to the back.
I deserve respect. Show me respect. Don't disrespect me. I don't care who's next. 俺はもう疲れたんだよ。俺は俺らしくこの先も自分を貫いてこのリングでトップ。
Whoa! Well, we know who this is.
I believe so.
He may not care who's next, but Aleister Black certainly does.
Hideo Itami ignoring the pleas of the referee. Itami was being interviewed by Caleb Braxton, but then decided to take things into his own hands, and Aleister Black, well, he waits for no one.
I was getting that eerie feeling. Now I know why.
Hideo Itami still in the ring. Aleister Black is scheduled for singles competition. The Bellicose Black, who has been cutting a path of destruction here in NXT, and Hideo Itami better be careful.
Itami refusing to leave the ring. The ominous, foreboding, and nebulous Aleister Black.
Itami talks about getting no respect. Well, he has to show respect to the rest of the superstars. This is Aleister Black's time.
Simply put, that's like a common denominator that we always hear here at NXT. Respect, respect, respect. But you said it best. It's earned, not given.
Things could get ugly in a hurry here as Aleister Black now formally enters the ring, and Hideo Itami hasn't budged.
I respect the toughness of Hideo Itami, but I would have left 5 minutes ago.
Well, looks like Hideo Itami is going to respect Aleister Black after all, and or is he?
Oh.
Whoa! You have to respect that!
Black mass spinning heel kick. Itami dropped.
Wow. Black mass leads to an Itami Black out.
I knew my daddy was a hero and all, but no one in my house wants to talk about it.
Your father, he was chasing the songwriter dream in Nashville.
Swear you're not making this up.
They were searching for answers.
Nashville, baby!
What they found
I can see your daddy in you, too.
That's the truth. Was their voice.
I want to be a singer, and so does Piper.
Featuring WWE legend Shawn Michaels and Willie Nelson. Pure Country, Pure Heart on DVD, Blu-ray, and digital.
Product not yet rated.
Get the deluxe edition and play 4 days early.
The literal hits keep coming on NXT. No Way Jose has said C to Andrade Cien Almas' challenge. So next week, the Walking Fiesta will welcome Almas, who will be escorted by the mysterious Zelina Vega to the No Way Jose Party of Pain. And speaking of pain, before the break, the mercurial Aleister Black almost broke Hideo Itami's jaw with the Black Mass. Wow! Let's take another look at Black's devastating spinning heel kick, blasting Itami right in the jaw. However, there is no time for Black to admire his handiwork as he sits in the corner awaiting the arrival of his next opponent.
Well, the Dutch Destroyer Aleister Black has already earned quite the reputation, and challengers from around the globe have petitioned NXT to get their crack at Aleister Black.
Wait!
And wow! Wow!
He's here too!
Wow, okay.
What a formidable opponent Aleister Black will face as the well-traveled, battle-tested championship pedigree of Kyle O'Reilly has come to NXT.
And his opponent, from Vancouver, British Columbia, weighing 200 pounds, Kyle O'Reilly.
I heard he might be coming in, but damn, it is good to see him finally in the NXT ring.
You talk about a man who's got an extensive resume. ROH, New Japan, 3-time tag champ, former world champ. This guy knows how to win.
I had the pleasure of calling some of Kyle O'Reilly's earliest matches in our native British Columbia. He always had the hit factor and always was destined for greatness. But wow, you talk about a baptism by conflagration. In his NXT debut, he must face Aleister Black.
What a match this is going to be.
Wow.
I am salivating at the prospect.
Both of them, extensive training in the martial arts, and what a match here this week on NXT. Aleister Black against the debuting Kyle O'Reilly. Nigel, you know Kyle very well. What do you look for? There's a sign of sportsmanship. What does he bring to the NXT ring?
Well, both these men have great striking abilities. We mentioned before, Aleister Black trained by Bob Schreiber in Amsterdam, but you've got to give the grappling advantage to Kyle O'Reilly.
You see their martial arts skills on display as they Both look for the striking advantage early. Level change by O'Reilly. The takedown was stuffed by Aleister Black.
And the front face lock as well. Let's see if we get a clean break.
And the clean break by O'Reilly, who has had extensive training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the grappling arts, but also is a proficient striker, although I would think Black may have the advantage in the striking, Nigel.
I would say so, certainly in the kicks, but here we go, looking for that front face lock, a guillotine perhaps.
I'd have to sign off on that too. I know Kyle has an extensive, a great resume, but it's going to take more than a good resume to defeat Aleister Black.
Sit-out switch by O'Reilly. Aleister Black on his back now, and
wait a second.
And there's Black now with the single leg takedown, but
Gotta
O'Reilly.
be careful, this looks like a triangle. Yes, in the center.
O'Reilly, but he has to be careful that his shoulders don't hit the canvas.
That's the big difference here, looking for the triangle again.
Yes, looking for the cross arm breaker that he calls Armageddon, but a nice reversal by Aleister Black, who bars the left arm.
And in his last tour of Japan, Kyle O'Reilly got to roll in the ring with Kazushi Sakuraba, so I guarantee he's got some submission ability.
Kazushi Sakuraba, Mr. Pride Fighting Championships, a legend in the land of the rising sun, someone who would fight, and a definite sports entertainer at heart, as well as now Black again continues to keep Kyle O'Reilly grounded.
Great technique from Black there. O'Reilly went for the rear chin lock. Black came straight out to the hammerlock.
Sakuraba, of course, known as the Gracie Killer, the first man to defeat 4 members of the first family of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, the Gracies. But here, Kyle O'Reilly trying to reverse fortunes against Aleister Black. Nice side headlock. Oh, but a quick escape by Black.
He's never going to get...
Yeah, was looking for the O'Connor roll. Instead, eats that vicious forearm. Oh, beautiful! Spinning leg sweep there by Aleister Black.
Black looking at his work.
What timing and what ability to see that kick coming, changing levels and sweep out the basement level.
What's startling about Aleister Black is not only the confidence, but the patience that he has when facing an opponent.
Chip up by Black. Oh, just drills the knee into the midsection of Kyle O'Reilly. Can O'Reilly get back into this matchup?
Find what fits you at WWEshop.com.
And the double foot stop attempt missed, but oh! Black connects with that kick, and the cover on Kyle O'Reilly for a 2.
Talk about knocking all the air out of your lungs. Goodness.
We know how well Kyle O'Reilly knows our Nigel McGuinness. In fact, he's taken a few moves from your arsenal in his career. We'll have to see if he pays homage to you here, if he gets an opportunity, because he's in tough against Aleister Black.
Right now, he's just got to worry about trying to beat the man. Not how he does it. Certainly not smart to strike with the man.
Loves that pendulum lariat like someone I know, Mr. McGuinness.
Imitation, the greatest form of flattery.
Yeah, Black not flattering Kyle O'Reilly here with a clubbing forearm, as Black asserting himself well and proving why he is one of the more dominant forces. Oh, O'Reilly with a knee to the head. But Black again backs him up and eats a boot to the face. Things beginning to open up here as the action picks up. As Kyle O'Reilly looking to make a memorable debut in NXT, and what a memorable sequence.
Kyle's going for it.
And this is O'Reilly's wheelhouse when he has the advantage late in the match.
Ultra competitive contest. Oh, the flying forearm smash in the corner by O'Reilly. Oh.
Wow.
Back first, and O'Reilly now looking for that ankle lock.
Looks like an Achilles lock, perhaps. Driving that forearm into the Achilles tendon in the back of the leg.
Oh. And Aleister Black valiantly trying to escape.
Oh, open-handed palm strikes.
So reminiscent of Frank Shamrock and Boss Roode and Pancrase.
Now he has the ankle lock, trying to talk at that knee ligament.
Black desperate to get out of that leg hold.
That's what O'Reilly needs to do. Stick with his strengths. He tried striking with a man from Amsterdam. Came up short.
Black and O'Reilly, two students of the game, done their homework on each other as O'Reilly just wrenches the arm of Black down to the canvas and only gets a 1 count.
This is something that you rarely see out of Aleister Black. You never really see him get dominated or be in trouble in a match.
Well, we've never seen him face Kyle O'Reilly before. That's because Kyle O'Reilly making his first appearance in an NXT ring.
But he's still cautious. Doesn't want to make a mistake. What a
Wow,
way
look
to
at
go.
this. A bit of a cartwheel escape there and right into the half guard, into side control now for Kyle O'Reilly.
See if he can get that knee across to full mount.
Oh, and the knees from the bottom by Black.
Watch
And
out.
oh, there's
Elbow!
Bobby looking for Armageddon, looking for that cross arm breaker.
Doesn't have it extended yet, though. That grip is tight. That monkey grip of Aleister Black preventing that extension of the armbar.
Good move by Aleister Black, because if he didn't have it together, he'd be in a world of
And
trouble.
now
right
Black stacking O'Reilly up for a 2 count.
Damage might be done to that arm by Black, though.
Oh! And O'Reilly bowls over Aleister Black. What a match. What a debut thus far for Kyle O'Reilly, as he's giving Aleister Black all he can handle this week. Crossface.
And those palm strikes to the head, brutal.
Canada's produced so many legendary sports entertainers, and Kyle O'Reilly would like to add his name to that formidable list. The crowd here at the Full Sail Live split as they exchange stiff kicks. Roundhouse kick by O'Reilly. Again, looking to focus the attack on that left arm of Black.
Hammerlock, yes, drives him down.
Double wrist lock there. You're right now into the hammerlock, the chicken wing, and kneeing him into the side before crossing over. And man, O'Reilly doing a good job of focusing his attack on the left arm of Aleister Black.
Well, what he's doing a great job is he's going back to his grappling game where he has the advantage and he has the strength.
An amazing match between Kyle O'Reilly and Aleister Black. Who will prevail?
Anyone can learn a trick. I can do something no one else can.
Oh my God.
I need more power.
This isn't for a trick, is it?
There's a lot of things in our lives that can trap us.
You know, we can do whatever we want if we just believe we're able to.
Slide. Own it on Blu-ray, DVD, and digital.
Kyle O'Reilly and Aleister Black back to their feet. It has been a hard-hitting affair between Black and the debuting Kyle O'Reilly. And boy, what a display of striking and grappling we are seeing in this contest.
Great technique from O'Reilly, hammerlocking the hand and throwing that forearm with the other arm. But now it's back to the strength of Aleister Black. Those kicks and those strikes.
Oh. And the boot like that And Aleister Black in control. Snap suplex on the Dynamite Kid. And Aleister Black now feeling it. Drives the knee into the shoulder of Kyle O'Reilly. Goes for the cover, crossface, doesn't hook the leg, and O'Reilly escapes it too.
Let's remember that Black's got to be looking for that black mass spinning heel kick. We saw earlier tonight how Hideo Itami was knocked out cold.
Oh, did you see that kick out by Kyle O'Reilly, though?
Well, yeah,
didn't seem very strong, like he's starting to wear down a little bit.
Oh, but O'Reilly with the counter, and O'Reilly was hoping that Black may have filled his quota of the black mass on Itami for the night as O'Reilly continues to focus his attack on the left arm. Arm wringer into the hammerlock. Snapmare by O'Reilly, and now top wrist lock.
Simple top wrist lock, but with the damage already done to that shoulder and elbow joint, this is putting a lot more pain than it would normally do. Apply up. Well, that's going to put him in even more pain, as you can see.
Well-placed knee continues to just wear down the left arm of Black.
Look at the torque there, using the head for some advantage as well, some leverage. Black had the right idea. He was grabbing his own fist to prevent the extension of that shoulder joint.
Black back up to a vertical base, using his free arm to break the grip momentarily, but Kyle O'Reilly fastidious.
He won't give Black an inch.
Oh, and there's some of those Dutch-style knees, but again, not enough for Aleister Black to turn the tables up on O'Reilly, but there's an arm wringer. Oh! Wow, the great equalizer, the big boot to the face. O'Reilly still standing. Not for long. Oh! Momentum. Oh! By Black. Shoulders down for two, and just like that, the striking machine shows off some of his agility.
Black is feeling it.
Aleister Black poised, ready to strike. He picks up
We've seen this before.
And O'Reilly takes advantage.
Ankle lock.
Oh, wow. O'Reilly forced to relinquish the grip. Oh, and that clothesline blocked it. Oh! O'Reilly forcing Black to crash and burn after that high-risk attempt.
What a match!
What a match indeed. Axe kick! And a forearm right across the jaw. Back cover. Oh, O'Reilly almost becoming the first person to defeat Aleister Black in NXT.
This is something special.
And Nigel, it's definitely worthy of a double feature. Kyle O'Reilly with his version of strong style in what has been a sensational fight here tonight, as O'Reilly really looking to make it a memorable NXT debut.
Front face, looking for a suplex.
Again, O'Reilly desperate to take Black over, but again, this is the veteran O'Reilly. The IQ, the ring IQ of Kyle O'Reilly is something to behold.
Look at the front face look and the angle of it as well.
Goodness.
The adjustments that he's making on the fly, Percy, and keeping himself one step ahead of the formidable Aleister Black, although Black's a step ahead there. And a boot right to the face. Oh,
how much more
stereo.
punishment can these two take from each other?
Now just three swinging knees. Oh, wow. Cyclone kick to the outside.
Oh, that got him.
Jumping knee strike by O'Reilly.
He's out on his feet.
They're
big of an
battered
upset.
and bruised. Another axe kick to the back of the head.
Whoa! He hit
Black
it.
mass.
That's
what
it.
a match.
Here's your winner, Aleister Black.
In the end, it was Black Mass that earned Aleister Black one of his toughest wins during his NXT tenure. And what can you say about Kyle O'Reilly and what he brings to the NXT roster?
You can't take anything from him. That was a great showing against one of NXT's top talents, and now it's the Black.
Well, let's take a look at how this match went down. First of all, picked up O'Reilly. Usually this is the setup, but instead O'Reilly gets that ankle up. More torque to those cruciate ligaments of the knee. The match would continue from there. O'Reilly taking out the leg. The damage done there. And push the advantage. Axe kicks hit. Strong elbow. This was nearly a victory. And then finally, O'Reilly, strike one. But the second strike, the definitive strike, was the spinning heel kick. Black mass for Aleister Black.
From Briscoe, Flair Steamboat, Misawa Kobashi, Tanahashi Okada. I wouldn't mind seeing Aleister Black and Kyle O'Reilly develop a rivalry for the ages. What a memorable matchup we have just witnessed this week on NXT, but in the end, Black Mass rules the day for the Dutch Destroyer, Aleister Black.